Welcome back to the Roge Gallery. This is Bloodborne. In this game, you are a dreamer, delving deep into the common dream, with the goal to get to the bottom. You can also talk to these guys, who don't really have anything interesting to say. But this guy can sell you one-time upgrades. So I'm going to buy a random item and a random upgrade material for the run. Normally you'd want to buy a weapon, but I kind of want to show off the default weapon. So I got an Amber Shard for an upgrade, and I also got the best item in the game. This is going to be a real good run. So this game is about moving through screens and murdering stuff that you see. It's also Bloodborne. You'll notice at the top left, we've got a health gauge, a stamina bar. I've got a gun. I can even parry, which blocks damage and doesn't really do anything else. It also costs a bullet, of course. And obviously I can roll. I can even jump, although it's a bad move almost every time. It doesn't cost any stamina though, so low flying projectiles are good for that. But as in every Souls game, dogs are the greatest enemy. So it looks like I have enough money, so I'm going to give this guy the hammer. And he will give me a legendary weapon. These do a ton of damage and usually have special abilities. This one obviously hits twice. Yeah, this thing killing 2 hits, so pretty good. If you find one of these, you're usually set for the entire run. And this is our first boss. Sadly, you can never skip boss cutscenes. One thing I will say about this game, even though there's not much to it, and it's not that great, it's some pretty fucking good boss music. This is my jam right here. So once you beat a boss, you get a random item and some health. You can also make a sacrifice by dropping a stat to get a random item, but I'm thinking no. Also, you can tell this is Bloodborne because I have 5 stats. You can probably guess what they all do. I was just considering if I want to drop any, but the answer is no, I don't. So this is a good item. These white glowy things following me are Orblings. They do small amounts of damage to enemies when they hit, but the item I just got makes them heal me. When they hit, at least. So if I could combine this with another item that generates more Orblings, I'll basically be unstoppable. Speaking of, this guy makes Orblings. This is also a challenge area. Kill enemies, get items. Your basic roguelite fare. I do love these tall guys though, they're just creepy. This looks like this is our second smith. I still have an upgrade material, so I could upgrade my gun. I could also get a tomahawk, although tomahawks are kind of bad. So let's get a revolver. I also don't really want to pay for more health because I'm just going to get it naturally now. So let's get a bit more endurance. Damn, snails hurt. And this is our second boss. Bosses are pulled from a pool of 3, depending on what floor you're on. None of them are particularly hard. I say as I get hit by one. So yeah, even with an upgraded gun, it's still not a lot of damage it's doing. Guns are kind of bad. This is a secret area we need a special item to get into. You get a random item and fight a special boss in there. So my loadout right now is really good. Finesse. I think this weapon scales with finesse. We can even see, we can go into our Necrominicon. Take a look at this thing. A scaling on both finesse and strength. And some lore. Don't bother reading it, I'll save you the trouble. It's all Cthulhu related. Here we can gamble, although I broke the machine. I think this is a stat boost. No, it's a parrying thing. That's terrible. Never parry. These guys are punch wizards. One thing I'll say about this game, even though I have a really good loadout, like I mentioned, it's pretty easy. Which is, I suppose, not a bad thing. Like, if you're good at this game, you're not gonna lose. There's really no items that will randomly screw you over. No enemies that are, like, ridiculously hard. There's not a lot of damage that the random number generator can do to you. Which, personally, I think is a boon when it comes to the design of roguelites. I think that skill should be able to carry you fairly far in these games. In games like Enter the Gungeon or Flint Hook, you can see that in action. Enter the Gungeon, even if you get really bad guns, you can still do quite a bit with just a starter pistol. Flint Hook, just a basic loadout will get you pretty far. This game, you don't really need anything. I tend to dislike roguelites and roguelites that require you to get certain items to proceed. Like, if you have to get good items or you just lose, not really my favorite. Skill should definitely play a part. This is our third boss. He is also pretty easy. You beat his barrier, you hit him a bit, rinse and repeat. You can also shoot through the barrier if you want, although it's not effective, or not as effective. So with that done, we get to the final level. This guy is like us, except he has good attacks. All of his attacks, every single one, is good. Like that. I can't do that. It's bullshit. Thankfully, he does not have access to legendary weapons. Although his normal weapons are doing some crazy stuff anyway. And our baby is our reward. Which we now have to get back to the surface with. So this part of the game is actually a little bit harder. We have to run the gauntlet. I'm not running it very well. Hopefully I'll get enough orbs to actually heal myself and recover from this terrible setback. If I dodge long enough, my little friend there will create enough orbs to get me back to full health. I don't know if I want to sandbag that hard though. This guy would normally be a boss. But now he's a mini-boss with no health bar, which is a little bit annoying. One more to go. Got another boss here. My most hated boss. I just find his patterns like weird and hard to read. And then we got some easy guys. And finally, the peak. An actually difficult boss. Sort of. My friend there is making a lot of orblings though. Just got like half my health back. I don't even know what happened. This is the second part of the fight. Actually the easiest boss in the game. All you really have to do is wait for him to finish attacking, and he'll just pause and let you hit him a few times, do his thing, and repeat. As long as you don't get greedy, you'll be fine. Like that. What I just did, very dumb. And that's the game. There's actually a secret final boss, but that requires you to get a specific item during the run, and since all items are random, I didn't want to grind through this like 10 times to get that item. So there you go. That was Gloom.